right, we're on to another week. It is Sunday. I have my grocery list for Aldi. I have my meal plan for the week. Let me take you through what I'm planning on making this week. Just like weeks in the past, this is my tentative plan. Things could change, and we just kind of roll with it, and that's okay. But I'm planning on Copycat Applebee's honey pepper chicken mac and cheese. I've got chicken strips from Butcher Box I will use for that. And then Monday, homemade cheeseburger pizza with fruit. I have some pizza crust that I ordered in a Thrive order, and so we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm just leaving it at fruit. It might be applesauce, it might be apples, it might be bananas. I don't know what fruit we're going to have. Whatever looks good either at Aldi or that we have at home. Tuesday's Halloween, so we're going to do mummies, which is just hot dogs wrapped in crescent rolls. Usually I make the crescent rolls from scratch, but my daughter asked that I buy the kind in like the pop tubes, which is fine because we are really busy on Halloween anyways. And then we got some French fries in our Ruby's pantry. The hot dogs are actually, I'll probably stop by my mom's and get some out of the freezer that I have there, but we also have some in the freezer here from our Fair for All, and then some apples. Wednesday, the kids eat at church, so I plan on something that my husband and I will like that maybe my kids wouldn't like, and I plan that for Wednesday. So Frontier corn chowder and saltine crackers. I have a Frontier dry soup mix that I will use up for that, just like I did last Wednesday. Thursday, crock pot pinto beans and rice. Friday, a pasta bake. I've got leftover sauce in the freezer, and I have some cottage cheese from this past week where I made lasagna. So I'll use the rest of the cottage cheese, the rest of the leftover sauce, and then just whatever noodles I have on hand. And then we'll make some sourdough garlic toast. And then Saturday is chicken and stuffing bake with fruit. I've got a bag of stuffing to use up from last Thanksgiving. I'm not hosting Thanksgiving, so I want to make sure I use that up. So I'm just going to cook up some chicken and do like my own cream of chicken gravy kind of thing, and then stuffing goes over the top. Maybe I'll put some carrots in it. I don't really know. We'll kind of play that by ear with some fruit. So a basic idea of what we're going to have this week, and I've got my grocery list ready for Aldi. We did go to Costco. Let me turn the camera. Costco on Friday and picked up a few things. So I'm going to try to stay under $100 today if I can. If I can't, that's fine. The things we picked up at Costco were like toilet paper, paper towels. My husband needed some socks. We got Nutella because it is so much cheaper to buy the big tubs there than to buy the little ones at Aldi. The pretzels that my son likes. A few items that it is just significantly cheaper to buy it at Costco. So that is not included in this. That's why I'm trying with this list, hopefully to stay under $100 just to kind of compensate. Obviously, it's not going to make up for everything we spent at Costco because, you know, toilet paper and paper towels is $40. So, and we got paper plates too. So things like that will last us a really long time. But when I price compared, it's just cheaper to buy it at Costco. So we ran in there and did that. So I'm going to try to stay under $100, but I do have up to $100 if I need it. So I'll show you when I get back from Aldi. Hello. So I just got back from Aldi. My goal was to stay under $100. I succeeded. My original goal, like just my own goal, was around 60. I think that's what we got back, 60 or 80. I can't remember. We got back from our water bill on our home that we closed on. So I thought, great, I can use that check to cover the groceries for this week. So I either did by $10 or I went over by $10, but very close. I did not need as much this week as I have in the past, just because, like I told you before, we went to Costco. I got some apples at Costco. We got orange juice at Costco because it's a better deal. And eggs at Costco because it's a better deal. So there were some things that I did not need to buy at Aldi, so I expected that staying under 100 shouldn't be a problem at all because I didn't have all of my usuals. So ran to Aldi. I'll tell you what we got, what it's going to be used for, if there's a specific use for it. If you watch my other haul, some of the stuff is just the every week things. But we'll go through my receipt. I'll tell you what I spent on each item. But the total today was $70.94. I had nothing that was taxable, so no tax today. So let's get started. So the first thing is some organic whole milk. So if you've watched before, you know that I really prefer the Kelowna's supernatural milk. However, because I am trying to stick within this really tight budget while we're in this rental, we are foregoing that. It will hopefully not be a long-term thing. I do hope we can get back to that just because of the health benefits of the non-homogenized, low temp pasteurized milk. I thought I saw something on the ceiling. But for right now, this is what we're getting. This is $3.79. And our grocery shopping is looking different. Typically, I prefer to buy as much organic, less processed food as possible. But Whole Foods is not going to be in my $100 budget right now. I am still getting from Azure, so there are still, a good portion of things that are clean. But also, we're just in a season of difficulty, so I don't have all of my kitchen items. I don't have everything of my own here in this rental, so we are just kind of making do and sacrifices, and that's fine. And then some things, it's just, we're in a tough season, so this is what we're doing. So no matter where you are, whether it is buying everything at a store, making homemade, buying some at a store, doing everything homemade, you're doing good because you're feeding your family. All right. Chocolate milk, $1.62. I swear to you, this was like 95 cents last week and $1.62 this week. I have no idea what's going on, but my son has really been into chocolate milk. So $1.62 for that. Next, I got some breakfast sausage for my husband. He's totally not picky about breakfast sausage. I am, but he'll eat these. It doesn't have any nitrates or anything in it, so that's good. But there is some other things in there I prefer not to have. But again, a season. There's 18 patties in here for $8.79, and my husband wanted to make some English muffin sandwiches for breakfast this week because we have a few English muffins left, and I did get more. You'll see here shortly. So I just went ahead and picked these up. They're frozen. They're pre-cooked. They are a fine for right now kind of thing. I could buy sausage, make them up, but I would never get them that thin. So next is heavy whipping cream. Again, I prefer to get the Colonas, but this is what we're making do with for right now. Heavy whipping cream, this is $4.69. This is in a few recipes as well as I use it in my coffee. I actually have one unopened, but I think I'm going to need more than one for this week for recipes. I need it in, let's see, the corn chowder and the dinner tonight, the honey pepper chicken mac and cheese copycat recipe from Applebee's. So I think I need 2 cups for like each of them. So next is pineapple juice. I need some of this for dinner tonight, and then my kids can just drink the rest of it. Is $4.19. Typically, I buy our pineapple juice from Azure Standard, but again, money, we're saving money, so this will do. The only ingredient in here is pineapple juice, so it's pretty simple anyways. And then next is crescent rolls. Typically, I make this dough from scratch. The oven is kind of finicky here, so I'm having a hard time making things that I normally make, which is why a lot of my recipes you will have seen are in my Instant Pot or on the stove, because the oven is a little bit picky. So I thought these might do a little better than my homemade one, plus my daughter asked for these ones, and we're going to be gone all day on Halloween till about 3. So I don't know that I even have time to get the dough done to eat before we go out for trick-or-treating. So this is what we're going to use. We're going to make the mummies, and I've got 2 things of crescent rolls. I don't know if I'm going to need 2, but I figured I'll just get 2. If nothing else, I'll use them for something else. If we don't use both of them, they were $1.95 each. And then honey ham. So sandwiches, again, are a big thing right now because they're quick and easy and relatively inexpensive. We have turkey still in the fridge that is unopened from last week. So I only got the ham this week for $5.49. It is 1 pound. It is the Castlewood Reserve uncured honey ham, so it doesn't have any nitrates or anything like that in it. And then I got some corn. This is for our corn chowder. 1 bag of frozen organic corn for $1.59. Corn products, I try to get them organic. It's not always the case, but the difference between the organic and non-organic corn is so minimal when you're talking 1 bag of frozen corn that I opted for the organic one. Next is some hot dogs. So I got 1 package of hot dogs in my Fair for All order, and we're going to use those on Halloween, but I don't think that's going to be quite enough because more than likely my kids will eat some before we go and then they'll want some when we get back. So I did just pick up one more package. I was going to go to my mom's. I know I have some in the freezer there, but I opted, because I have the money in my budget this week, to save those for a time that we don't have the money to buy something and use them then. I felt like that was a better use of the budget this week, and reserving those for later. And they're frozen, so they're going to stay good technically forever. So these are the uncured organic beef hot dogs. This is somewhere where I don't skimp because hot dogs are so processed anyways. Like, these aren't even good for you, but they do have significantly less ingredients and there's no nitrates and things like that, and it is just all beef hot dogs. So the ones that I got for Fair for All are not organic. They probably have nitrates in them, but we'll do a combination of these and those, and we're gonna call it good. So these were $4.99. They did have some turkey ones, and I almost got those, but these looked a little bit better. I actually prefer turkey dogs. Next was cream cheese. So this is $1.89. We still have some blueberry bagels left over from last week, but we were running low on cream cheese, so I picked up a cream cheese for that. Then I needed 2 things of cheese. So I needed a Colby Jack and a cheddar. Let me think. What are we using them for? So I think the cheddar is going to be for the cheeseburger pizza, and I believe the Colby Jack is for the dinner tonight, the honey pepper mac and cheese. It also calls for mozzarella and Parmesan cheese, which I already have. So I got those. We will shred them up. Cheese is another one that I really do prefer to get it from Azure Standard. I'm trying to think if I have cheese coming in my order, but for $1.99, that's what these were. I just went ahead and got them to help with the meals for this week. Next is a pineapple. So I wasn't sure what kind of fruit they had on sale this week, and we do have a ton of apples since I got some at Costco. But this was $2.19, so I didn't think that was too bad for a pineapple. Or I'm sorry, $2.15. Usually I buy them at $1.99, so we're talking 16 cents more. Not bad. So I picked up 1 pineapple. This will probably last us 1 meal, and then it'll be gone. So that will be probably fruit for one night. Then I got a bag of avocados because I do sourdough toast with avocados and egg on top, and everything with the bagel seasoning. If I'm using regular sourdough, I will use that. So I picked this up. It is a, let's see, does it say? I think I go through this every week. I don't know if there's a pound or just a count. 6 count is what it says, for $2.39. So we'll use those up for that. Next is more ramen. This is not something that I love that we eat, but we do eat it from time to time. And in fact, on, what day was it? Saturday, we only had about a half an hour to get lunch made and eat and get out the door. And I was very tempted to do fast food, but I was like, I will make ramen. So 4 of us split a couple packages of ramen and some apples, and that was our lunch, and we called it good. So just restocking that, $3.49 for the 12-pack of ramen. So not something we eat every day, but certainly has a time and a place. Then we got some hot cocoa cups. I do have a much better, cleaner hot cocoa. However, if I can't make the hot cocoa for the kids, we have a gas stove here. They've not worked with a gas stove, and I don't want them to really microwave it. So I will use that with milk and make hot chocolate if like everyone's gonna have some hot chocolate. But if my daughter just wants a hot chocolate for her dessert at night, I went ahead and just picked up one of these. It's just a 12 count of their hot cocoa K-cups. $3.99. So this should last quite a while because it isn't something that she'll do all the time, but I wanted to have that option. We actually got a couple hot chocolate K-cups from Ruby's Pantry, and she's been using those, and so I thought I'm just gonna get this now because we have room in the budget this week, or maybe next week we won't because we had less to buy this week. All right, next is raspberries. They had them on sale for $1.99. Raspberries are typically something I really do want to buy organically, but $3.99 for organic raspberries or $1.99 for conventional ones. So guess what? That's why we bless our food. We pray over our food that God will bless it to our body, and we do the best that we can do. And being good stewards of our money is also just as important as being good stewards of our body. So we're gonna eat these raspberries, and we're gonna call it good. $1.99 for each of them. So don't feel bad if you can't buy it all organically. There are seasons of life that I buy everything from organic and I make everything from scratch, and there are seasons of life that we don't. Next is Hawaiian rolls. My daughter has really been into the Hawaiian rolls. $2.75. I'm a little bummed. They had them on sale for $2.39 for quite a while. Now they're back up to the normal price of $2.75. So I got a pack of Hawaiian rolls. Then I got some English muffins. I wasn't going to buy any, but I think now we're down to only one left. And since I got those sausage patties for breakfast sandwiches, I thought I better get more English muffins. I know how to make homemade English muffins, and they're really good, and I'll do that and freeze them, but I don't even have my stuff to make English muffins. So we're doing store-bought right now, and honestly, $1.39 is a really good deal. They are not clean by any means, but they'll fill a belly. All right, next is deli rolls. This is $2.39. My son has all of his sandwiches on these. These are what he's really into. Again, I can make these from scratch, but we're not making bread from scratch here because we're not. And then the last thing is sourdough. I buy one of these pretty much every week. Sometimes I get one of these and one of the everything, but just to keep the budget down, I just got this one this time, especially because I don't have as many days to use this with dinner. So I didn't want to have 2 loaves sitting around. I also have a few slices left of the everything one still from last week that I'll finish that up first. But $3.49. This sourdough loaf is so good, and it makes a really great side. The ingredients are pretty simple, pretty clean, not a lot of extra things added in there. So I'm very happy with the sourdough. This is something I would buy even if I was making most of our stuff from scratch. I haven't ventured into sourdough. Hold on. Making maybe in our new house because we won't have enough money to do anything, so I'll have to learn how to make sourdough. All right. I'm kidding, but not really. The housing market is a terrible time to buy, but we didn't really have a choice. So again, $70.94 is my total for the week for the groceries. This will get us through the week. Most of it will probably be gone by the end of the week, with the exception of like the ramen, the hot cocoa, the sausage patties. But the rest will probably get used up this week. So I'm not really buying anything to add to our food storage. We're actually trying to use down, so that way we don't have to move as much when we move again. It's also really helping to save on our budget. So I am a big advocate still of buying in bulk and stocking your pantry when you have the funds, because then when you run into hard times like we're in right now and we don't have a lot of money in our grocery budget, I can use from the pantry, buy the fill-in stuff, and still feed my family a good, relatively wholesome diet. So that's it. So stick around because you'll see my meals for the week. I will take you along little bits, hopefully every day, show you what we're making for dinner. Sometimes I show you more of the making process. Sometimes it's just a quick snippet. Just kind of depends on what's going on in life. And so I hope that you'll join me for the rest of the what we had this week, and I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, and I pray that you are blessed and you know that Jesus loves you, and I'm glad you're here. See you on the next one.